Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news coming from East Point tonight, where police have just released this video of a possible abduction at a gas station. Police putting this video out because they believe whoever was stuffed into that pickup is in extreme danger.
Let's get right out to our Jermont Terry. He's live in East Point with more. Jermont, what do you know so far?
Kimberly, I can tell you that apparently this whole incident happened around 1 p.m. at Gratiot and Stevens at the Sunoco. Police did not receive a phone call from anyone that you will see in this video. Instead, a witness that was inside the gas station saw this all go down. Let's get you right to the video. You can see that apparently the individual that they believe was potentially taken by this group of people is described as anywhere from 16 to 17 years old. He walks across the parking lot, and at some point you can see a Dodge Burgundy pickup truck pull up into your screen, and someone gets out and starts to assault and have some type of altercation with this individual. As the video continues, it then shows that more people get out of the car, 2 more individuals, a black man described anywhere between 40 to 45 years old, and also an older black woman in her 40s as well. Now, all 3 individuals at some point then forced that 16 or 17-year-old victim into this Dodge pickup truck, this Dodge Ram, and that's when they are seen taking off in the outside of the video. At this particular juncture, East Point police aren't very clear what they're looking at, but here's what they have to say about potentially this possible kidnapping and/or abduction that took place around 1 o'clock today.
The witness said that there was no screaming for help. It didn't appear the victim made a real difficult effort to get away, so it's really confusing, and we just want to talk to these people to make sure that this person's okay.
Now, they have contacted the FBI, according to East Point Police, to make sure that this is not worse than what it is. But again, they aren't sure what they're looking at. Again, this all happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon. You're looking at a potential victim in the age of 16 to 17 years old. He did have a backpack on him. Of course, they're asking anyone, if you saw anything, or if you happen to be involved in this, please contact them, because right now they believe that this individual, this 16 or 17-year-old, is in grave danger. That is the very latest. We will stay on top of this breaking news story and have details coming up at 6. For now, reporting live in East Point with breaking news, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Okay, Jermont, thank you for that update. And as you said, do keep us posted. All right, now to worries about the weather. 4 Live radar starting to light up a little bit as we are in for a rocky night ahead.
Yeah, we've already seen a little rain earlier, a line of storms coming through this afternoon, and of course we sandwiched it with a little sunshine.
A little bit of sunshine. Yeah, let's get over to bed now, and there's a chance of some severe weather too.
That's right, Kim and Jason. Even though what we're seeing on 4 Live radar right now is not severe, the thunderstorms are back, just coming out of our south zone, and you can see that cell right now, which is around Manchester. Frequent lightning with this, and definitely some heavy downpours as this continues to march to the northeast. This is likely going to be to Ann Arbor here by about 15 after the hour, closer to Whitmore Lake at about 5:30, and over to Westland at about 5:38 if this holds together. This is moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. Biggest threats are going to be from possibly 40-mile-per-hour winds with this storm. Even though they're not at severe levels, we could be seeing severe weather later tonight. This is the threat we're looking at, and it's pretty much everything on the board tonight. Wind and hail will be the largest threats. Obviously, with any severe thunderstorm, we're going to see plenty of lightning. We've already seen that with some of the morning storms. Flooding is going to be more of an issue in our north zone. We'll talk about that coming up. Tornado threat not completely zero. We'll discuss that coming up in your full forecast in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben, this just into our newsroom. Some devastating news from the family of Chad Carr, Lloyd Carr's grandson, who died after a long struggle with cancer. Photos and videos of Chad have been stolen from his family's home near Ann Arbor.
Tammy Carr, she took to Facebook today to describe what was taken while they were away on vacation this past week. She said, quote, "They took a fireproof safe that contained our external hard drives with all of our pictures and videos. Yes, those are, of course, very prized possessions as they contain so many memories of Chad." The Carr family is offering $500 for the hard drive's return. If you know anything, call Pittsfield Township Police. Okay, now to a developing story in San Bernardino where 2 adults are dead and 2 students injured in a murder-suicide at an elementary school.
It happened today at San Bernardino's North Park Elementary School. Police say a woman was shot and killed and a man died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. As news of the shooting spread, hundreds of parents ran to the school in search of their children.
I live down the street. My wife called me that a friend told her there was a shooting, so I ran up here.
2 great and 1 grand, and I've got 2, and I'm still waiting to find the third one. But my daughter that lives in Wrightwood said she saw him on TV, she thinks, so I'm hoping, praying that he's okay.
Well, this is a big school, 600 students, so you can understand the hysteria there. The 2 students injured are listed in critical condition. Their names and ages aren't being released. The relationship between the woman and the shooter also unknown right now. Now to brand new information into a wild fight last night at Rouge Park in Detroit that led to a stabbing.
Yeah, the fight captured here in this viral video is believed to all be over a parking spot. Coco McAvoy is live tonight. Coco, arrests have been made in this case.
Yes, Kimberly and Jason, 2 women, 21 and 22 years old, are in custody after the fight that turned into a stabbing. And that video has been viewed thousands of times on social media. This video is making its way all over social media. 2 women fighting on the ground while crowds battle for the best spot to record and egg them on.
To me, it is the best cameraman.
Police say this started over a parking spot. One group of women was trying to pull into a space when the other group of women took the parking spot. Both groups got out of their cars and started fighting. Commander Eric Toski says,
We have an issue out here with how to cope with our problems that we have. You know, people arguing over a parking spot to escalate into violence. It's just ridiculous.
The fight got even more serious when a woman pulled out a knife and started cutting people, stabbing a 30-year-old woman. The woman was carried away and eventually taken to the hospital. Commander Toski says recording video to help police is one thing, but what happened at Rouge Park was a different story.
They're not recording for any type of a reason to give the video to the police. They're recording because they found it to be entertainment. So what?
Now 2 women are behind bars after this fight. Police are still combing through the viral videos and say they hope to see more people helping next time before they press record.
If you don't want to get involved, then you shouldn't be standing there, you know, egging people on.
And the 30-year-old woman who was stabbed is in stable condition at the hospital, and she's expected to make a full recovery. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
All right, Coco, let's shift gears hardcore now and get to a little sports action. Tonight, the Pistons will write their final chapter of their days playing in Auburn Hills. Now, we're reliving all of the great memories that go with it, both old and new, from the Palace. And, of course, last night we just said goodbye to the Joe, so tonight we're saying goodbye to the Palace.
Yeah, both teams are moving, as you know, to Little Caesars Arena next season, and they're leaving behind memories at 2 great arenas. Jamie Edmonds has been talking to Pistons fans and caught up with folks who came all the way here from Tennessee. We'll get to Jamie in just a moment, but we want to kick things off with Bernie, live at the Palace tonight. Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Kimberly, and you know, tonight we do say goodbye to an old friend, a friend who's always been there if you needed a lift at any time in your life. Through thick and thin, it's time to turn out the lights on the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. The Palace was the vision of Pistons owner Bill Davidson, and this man had vision. Remember, he bought the team for $6 million in 1974 because he couldn't buy what he really wanted to buy.
I kind of wanted to buy a professional football team first, and that just didn't work out, so I switched to basketball.
So in August of 1988, the Palace was open for business, and Davidson admitted to us several years later the facility was great, but filling it was a challenge.
We got to get back, get the building filled up, get people in who can afford to come in, and we have a whole new audience.
By the way, that $6 million investment Davidson made in '74 is now worth $850 million. And the structure that was Bill Davidson's vision, it's still regarded as one of the finest around, and that's nearly 30 years later. So many great memories here, so many things people will take away from this building with them. Let's go outside where Jamie Edmonds is standing by, and she has chatted with the folks. Hi, Jamie.
Hey there, Bernie. You know, in 29 years, everyone has a memory of this building, and I found out when I went around town that most of them are fond memories. As Lauren Thomas put it, she and her brother were born to be Pistons fans.
Isaiah Thomas signed our ultrasound when my mom was pregnant with us. That was the first year that they won the championship.
The siblings now live in Tennessee, but once they found out that this would be the final game at the Palace, they jumped in the car.
About 9 hours. We drove through the night, yeah.
Now that they're here, they're soaking it all in and stocking up.
Got a Bad Boys hat, retro version.
Down the street at Hoops, owner Michael Allen is remembering his famous patrons.
Grant Hill, when he first got here, was in quite a few times.
And some of those special nights.
Beating the Lakers that one year was an amazing thing, and they took him. You know, see Ben Wallace standing next to Shaq and looking like a midget.
This place was probably rocking during that.
Well, we were rocking, yes.
Rhonda Wilson worked at the Palace for 20 years. She has so many fond memories of games and concerts, and one night she'd like to forget.
My less favorite moment was the Malice at the Palace.
You were there?
I was there.
Tell me.
It was just a crazy night, everything, you know, exploding. I was doing dispatch that night, you know, had to call in extra cops, extra ambulances.
So many memories were made in this building in 29 years. Tonight, it's about celebrating all of them one last time.
So we just knew we had to be here today. It was
Definitely.
So serious. We were like, we can't miss this, because when they close this, it's never going to be here again.
That's right, and you know, I can see 75 from here. It's already starting to back up to Lapeer. A lot of people want to be here, Bernie, and a lot of people want to get the merchandise. Maybe you should stock up like my friends did today.
Good thinking. Yeah, that's the way to do it, is come in here and get it now. All right, Jamie, thank you much. We'll see you in a little while. We're in the atrium of the building because Stan Van Gundy is practicing the team right now on the floor at the Palace. They have 2 games left this year. They're not making the playoffs, but they're out there practicing today because they play the Wizards here tonight. We'll have much, much more for you coming up later in sports. Kids, back to you in the studio.
Yeah, an arena that really set the standard for other arenas to come almost 30 years ago, like you said, Bernie. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Thank you.
Well, if you thought disgraced former state rep Cindy Gamrat was out of the public eye, think again.
Ahead here at 5, what she's doing to try to clear her name and why her husband now needs a lawyer.
And 2 brothers gunned down. New tonight, their heartbroken mother tries to put her intense pain into words as she copes with a tremendous loss.
You were outraged last week when you heard about a 79-year-old Farmington Hills woman who was attacked and robbed inside her own home. Well, tonight, she has some things to say.
I am pretty good for what I've been through, I guess.
And before we go to break, we want to continue to follow that breaking news out of East Point. Just give you an update on it. Police there have released this video, which they say shows the beating of an apparent abduction of a teenager. If you look closely there, this video was taken from a gas station surveillance camera at Gratiot and Stevens. Witnesses told police the victim was a male between the ages of 16 and 17 years old wearing a backpack. If you have any information on what's shown in this video, please call East Point Police.
The Voice. New at 6.
Terrifying 911 calls as a young man is drowning, trying to save a young child who fell into the Clinton River.
911, where's your emergency? I'm at the boardwalk in Mount Clemens. Somebody just fell in the water. We need paramedics.
His family says Joshua Traylor was doing what he was raised to do, protecting the ones he loved.
All right, Priya, plus doctor dissension. There's a lot of disagreement about when and how often women should get a mammogram, how you can take charge and make the best decision for your health. A 79-year-old Farmington Hills woman is speaking out tonight for the first time since a man broke into her house, hit her in the head, and walked out with her jewelry.
He told her he was looking for his missing dog, something police think he's done in the past. Let's get to Mara McDonald. She's live at the Farmington Hills Police Department tonight. Mara, first, how is she doing?
Jace, she's doing pretty well. She's got 8 staples in the back of her head, but is in pretty good spirits. She told me that she didn't realize she was quote unquote elderly until she heard herself described that way on TV news. And she has a few things she'd like you to know, but she'd like to keep her identity secret. Take a look.
came about a month ago, came here and knocked on the door and said that he had lost his chocolate lab.
Which is why she opened the door when she saw him again last week, except this time, instead of just cruising the neighborhood, the 46-year-old man was looking to rob. He smashed her in the head with a vase filled with daffodils twice. She was disoriented from the blow, but not unconscious.
He said, you know, give me your ring, your wedding ring and your watch, and took 2 bracelets, pulled them off my arm, little kind of tennis bracelets.
He then went upstairs, grabbed what he could, and emptied her purse, leaving her on the floor tied up with a throw from the living room. Once he left, she got loose and called 911.
When I got up, I could see this big pool of blood where I'd been lying, and that's the first time I really knew I was bleeding that much. You know, I would have given him what he wanted. He didn't have to hit me.
She has nothing but praise for the Farmington Hills police officers who were first on the scene at her home.
But I just want to say that I have nothing but wonderful accolades for the Farmington Hills Police Department.
Officers caught up with her attacker within 24 hours. He's in custody and she's recovering. What hasn't been recovered yet, her jewelry, including the 30-year anniversary ring her husband gave her. She'd really like it back.
It was for our 30th anniversary, and we're almost to our 60th now, so I did it a long time.
Back here live, police are working on recovering her jewelry. What really helped in this case, a neighbor who had a substantial camera set up on their home caught this guy going in and going out of the subdivision. We're live in Farmington Hills tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara, we appreciate it. Boy, you can just imagine that terror, waking up and seeing real blood. Oh, let's switch gears again.
Yeah, we saw a little sunshine today and a little bit of rain too.
Yeah, and we felt some warmer temperatures, and we're now getting to that time of the year where when you see those warmer temperatures, that doesn't necessarily mean good.
Yep.
That's adding to the instability that's out there. Look at some of these numbers that we're still dealing with. 76 right now at Metro, 74 at Mount Clemens and also Grosse Ile. There's some gusty winds out there too, even outside of the thunderstorms, not to anything that's going to be a problem. But we're watching really 2 storms, one of which is weakening, which is in the southern end of Washtenaw County. The stronger storm is right now developing right around the airport, just starting to move into Romulus. You can see the heavy rain and definitely some frequent lightning. No warnings. It's not at severe limits. Still could be about 40-mile-per-hour winds and some small hail with that, however. And the timing on this is going to take it to the core of the city at about 5:35 or so, right around Midtown in the News Center area. Once it gets north into Macomb County, Warren, you'll see that about 5:47. Shelby Township, if it's still together, by about 6 o'clock tonight. So the bottom line on our storm threat is it really is going to run between about 6 p.m. tonight and 2 a.m. We're thinking probably right in the center is when we're really anticipating some of the strongest storms. Better chances are going to be in our north zone and in our west zone, and we'll discuss that in a minute. The biggest impacts are going to be from straight line winds and also the possibility of seeing some hail. Right now, as you look to the southwest, there are severe thunderstorm warnings from Chicago down to St. Louis. And if we do see any tornadoes, they're likely going to be probably within this area and the Illinois-Indiana border, and we'll be watching for that over the next hour or so. And you can see that line of storms. This is the severe one, even though this looks pretty impressive. That line is not severe across Indianapolis, and that is moving more east. So I don't think that we're going to have to deal with this line, but we will be seeing some indications of thunderstorms with us through most of the evening tonight. I will tell you this when we show you the map. Models just don't have a handle on this situation. The one thing that is consistent is it's trying to blow up most of the thunderstorms closer to the warm front. That's why a flood watch is in effect for most of our north zone. That's where you saw most of the rain with our last round of thunderstorms a couple days ago. And we'll be seeing that possibility of potential flooding there. Once the cold front moves through at about 2, 3 in the morning, that's when our storm threat's going to come to an end and we'll be dry beyond that. High pressure settles in, just not going to be quite as warm tomorrow as what we were dealing with today. So our Orezone forecast is dealing with low temperatures tonight, still on the mild side. Even though that cold front's going to come through about 3 or 4 in the morning, we're still going to be in the mid to upper 50s. Generally similar numbers here in our south zone and even in our west zone too. We'll start to cool down there in Genesee County at 54. The big difference though is going to be in our north zone where we'll see some of those temperatures in the 40s as we wake up tomorrow. So otherwise highs go to 64 and we'll start with clouds, finish with some sunshine, cool down a bit there Wednesday and Thursday and then start ramping back to the 70s. Does not look great for Easter weekend. Saturday we've got a chance of showers and storms and probably again on Easter Sunday. So we'll keep an eye on that, and of course the storm threat tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
you'll be watching it.
Yeah, straight line winds can be almost as bad as the tornadoes, so be careful.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks,
Okay,
Ben.
Alabama's governor on the verge of getting booted out of office. New at 5, the wild accusations he's facing that once again proves the cover-up is often worse than the crime.
But first, Mateen Cleave's legal troubles are not over as rape charges are reinstated.
Where can
Sexual assault charges have been reinstated against former Michigan State basketball star Mateen Cleaves.
Cleaves is accused of sexually assaulting a woman after a golf event in September of 2015. He was formally charged last March, but this past December, the judge dismissed the case. Today, charges against Cleaves were reinstated. No court dates have been set yet.
The Michigan House of Representatives has not heard the last of disgraced former member Cindy Gamrat. Gamrat was expelled from the House 2 years ago after she and former Representative Todd Corser were accused of working to cover up an extramarital affair. Gamrat has now filed a federal lawsuit against the House, the former House Speaker, 2 former aides, and her former husband, among others, on a wide range of allegations, including wiretapping and defamation. 6 weeks after a water main broke in a West Side neighborhood and 4 days after a Local 4 report on it, repair work is finally underway.
Local 4 reported last week how water had been pouring into the street on Weatherby in Barton near Warren Road, and you can see it there. Today, Local 4 was there after crews arrived to stop the flow of water and fix the pipeline. People had complained the city was neglecting their neighborhood, which has several abandoned houses there.
New at 5:30.
It's a special buy one, get one free sale from an online bookstore started right here in Metro Detroit. I'm Evrod Casamate. Coming up, I'll explain how you can buy one book and get another one free and help encourage reading for Metro Detroit students in need.
President Trump is facing his first major test in foreign policy this week. I'm Blaine Alexander. I'll have it all covered coming up from Washington.
A mother is grieving after 2 of her sons were shot and killed on Detroit's West Side.
My children lost their lives for nothing.
Hear her message to the person who did this and where police stand in their investigation.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
A mother's heartache. This Detroit woman forced to plan 2 funerals after losing her sons to gun violence. It's almost unthinkable for any parent, but tonight, Lita Watts is doing it.
Her 2 sons, 24-year-old Alex and 28-year-old Lewis, were gunned down Sunday night on Detroit's West Side. Coco McAvoy spoke to her today.
I lost 2 children in one day, and it just hurts. It hurts.
Lita Watts raced to the scene on Schaefer when she heard her sons, Alex and Lewis, had been shot.
When I got the call, I was praying that it wasn't as bad as they said it was.
But she soon realized both of her sons were gone and still has no idea why.
From what I understand, it had nothing to do with them.
She says her sons were talented and wanted to do something good with their lives.
Louis always wanted to act, and he did for a while. And Alex, he had a dream to draw.
But Watts can't get the graphic scene from last night out of her mind.
When I got here, my son was laying on the ground. He laid out there for 7 hours.
She feels guilty. She wasn't there with Alex in the hospital when he died.
I just couldn't be in 2 places at one time.
Now she has a strong message for the person who carelessly stole her son's lives and left her with a heavy heart.
I hope you rot in hell. And I hope every day that you live your life it be miserable. And I don't think I would ever forgive him.
Of course, our prayers and thoughts for that family. A GoFundMe page has been set up to also help with funeral expenses for that family. Well, last week, 17-year-old University of Detroit Jesuit student Sean English was critically injured while helping the victims of a crash over on I-96. Well, today, he spoke publicly about the crash for the first time.
After the crash, English was transported to the hospital where his foot had to be amputated. Today, he spoke with WJR where he said helping the crash victims was an easy decision.
The accident actually happened just in front of us. It wasn't even a question. We were there to help, and that's what we did.
English is currently listed in good condition as he continues recovering in the hospital.
Well, those storms are moving in. We had one of our crews see lightning, so they hurried up and put the mast down because it can obviously be pretty dangerous out there.
Yeah, we showed the video earlier of the damage that was caused by the lightning this morning, and that storm wasn't even severe. We do expect to see rougher stuff later this evening, but we've got some garden variety rain and one strong storm that we're tracking coming out of Romulus, and that is leaving the airport. You see it right there just on the north side of Allen Park, heading towards the city of Detroit. Still quite a bit of lightning with this thing, but again, this is not severe. Track on this takes it to Mount Clemens at about 6:02. Warren, you'll get this probably about 10 before 6, and the core of the city of Detroit, if this is still holding together here, at about quarter till 6 o'clock, about 5:45-ish, as that moves to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. In fact, from our vantage point here downtown, I'll scoot over and you can see the darker skies back here. That's where that thunderstorm is right now as it moves closer to us towards the camera. And we'll be here in the city of Detroit again, probably within the next 15 minutes. But we are all under a slight risk of severe weather. And again, a lot of this risk is going to be after the sun goes down tonight. We'll discuss more of this, find out when it finally ends, coming up in a few minutes, guys.
14 months after the sudden death of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, his replacement has finally taken the oath of office.
Appeals Court Judge Neil Gorsuch was sworn in today. A private oath-taking ceremony at the Supreme Court was followed by a public swearing-in at the Rose Garden at the White House. Justice Gorsuch will join the court to hear arguments in cases later this month and help decide what cases will be heard in the future.
For the first time, the Trump White House is facing a foreign policy trial by fire. Days after answering a Syrian gas attack with a missile strike, President Trump is under pressure to follow through with additional measures to punish the Assad regime. But Syria's ally, Russia, is now accusing Washington of crossing the line. NBC's Blaine Alexander in Washington tonight.
Well, hello to you from Washington at the beginning of a very busy week for President Trump. Just this week, he could be facing possible major actions on Syria, North Korea, and Russia, all before the end of his first 100 days.
In American history, and that's
today the beginning of an intense week for the Trump administration, facing its first real test on foreign policy. After drawing praise for ordering strikes on Syria, the question now facing the president: what's next?
The president's going to be very clear that he's going to keep his cards close to the vest, but make no mistake, he will act.
Does that mean overthrowing Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad?
I can't imagine a stable and peaceful Syria where Bashar al-Assad is in power.
Syria will top a tense agenda as Secretary of State Rex Tillerson heads to Moscow tomorrow, meeting with his Russian counterpart to urge Russia to take a tougher stance with Assad. This after Russia strongly condemned the U.S. strikes and sent its own warships to the region. At today's G7 summit in Italy, Tillerson signaling the U.S. is not backing down.
And we rededicate ourselves to holding to account any and all who commit crimes against the innocents anywhere in the world.
Perhaps also a message to North Korea, the U.S. sending ships to monitor the Korean peninsula, a warning after North Korea launched a series of ballistic missile tests. Amid growing calls in Congress to present a game plan.
If there's going to be future actions, and I hope there will be, to eliminate the Assad regime, to end the Assad regime, that has to be a well-thought-out plan presented to Congress.
As the Pentagon takes precautions against possible retaliation against American forces in the region.
Also constantly top of mind for the president, defeating ISIS. This after a renewed threat over the weekend, the group claiming responsibility for a pair of deadly church attacks in Egypt. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
Alabama's governor now expected to resign just hours after impeachment hearings began.
Governor Robert Bentley is accused of using state resources to cover up an affair with a top aide. The alleged affair came to light when recordings of a racy conversation purportedly between the two went public. Hearings to impeach Bentley were to continue this week, but now a source close to the governor says he could resign before the day is over. A teen has been arrested and charged in a carjacking reported near the University of Michigan campus in Ann Arbor.
17-year-old Zachary Scott was arrested Friday at a transit center after boarding a bus. Ann Arbor police say Scott is the suspect who carjacked a man with an airsoft gun earlier that day on Washington near South Division. Police say he later crashed the car, ran from the scene. He's now facing 5 felony charges. Cell phone video shows a passenger being forcibly removed from a United Airlines flight.
This is really disturbing video. The reason? Pretty shocking.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my
God! No! No, this is wrong. Oh my God! Look at what you did to him!
Well, it turns out the man was removed because the flight heading to Louisville from Chicago was just overbooked. That's it.
Yeah.
Passengers said the airline first offered $400 and a hotel stay, but when no one accepted, the computer selected 4 people to be removed. Today, United CEO apologized.
Yeah, whose fault is it for the overbooking in the first place? Come on.
Reading month might be over, but that doesn't mean Metro Detroit students have stopped reading, of course.
I hope not.
No.
In fact, one local woman is making it possible for students to get free books all year round. Evrod Cassimy shows us how we can all help.
An online bookstore started right here in Metro Detroit is offering a special buy one, get one free book sale. When you buy one book, you get a second book that goes to Metro Detroit students in need.
Chameleon.
Yeah.
Octopus. Camel.
These kindergarten students are excited to learn to read.
Because it got a lot of animals in it.
Together, they're reading from these free books they were given from mybookbuddy.com.
My Book Buddy is an online children's bookstore where we donate about 60% of our products. When you purchase a book, we actually donate a book to a child in need.
It was started by Nina Robinson just this past September. She wanted to see students succeed in school.
I heard about the reading issue that they were having with the students, and I decided I wanted to get involved and see what I can do for DPS.
Reading is fun, and you can practice a lot.
And that's just what My Book Buddy is encouraging students to do with the free books they're given. Helping is simple. You buy a book online, and a free one is given to students in our area.
Just getting them engaged, I think, is key, and making them feel comfortable reading in front of people is key as well.
In fact, Robinson doesn't stop at just book sales to encourage student reading. She holds book fairs where she can hand out the free books personally.
I think the highlight for me is actually coming out to the schools and doing the read along and read alouds with them, because they're actually enthusiastic about it, and that makes me feel good.
And if you'd like to purchase a book from My Book Buddy or learn more about their upcoming book fairs, we posted everything you need to know on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com. In Southfield, Evrod Cassimy, Local 4.
All right, Evrod. My Book Buddy also does several pop-up shops where you can buy books in person and still have one given to another child. Those dates, times, and locations are also on the community page of clickondetroit.com. A big warning tonight for video game lovers.
New at 5:30, what people who shopped at GameStop need to do right now. But first, it's a crash course for caregivers. The special boot camp designed to help family members care for loved ones with dementia. That's next.
But first, criminal charges in the case of a CMU student who had peanut butter smeared on his face, causing a dangerous allergic reaction. That story coming up next.
Kids and cash. What lessons should you be teaching your children to help them succeed in the future? Help me, Hank, with expert advice tomorrow, starting at 5.
Jeopardy! New at 6.
No doubt about it, this mall is one of the worst spots in all of Metro Detroit.
If this thing happens, this is going to be huge for this whole area.
But there is the distinct possibility that this place could go from worst to first.
All right, Rod. A Central Michigan University student is now charged with the alleged hazing of a fellow student. You might recall this story. 20-year-old Dale Mirza of Rochester Hills. He's now facing hazing and causing injury charges after an investigation found that Mirza smeared peanut butter across the face of a CMU student from Marysville, causing an allergic reaction. You see the pictures there. That incident occurred in October. A photo of the victim's swollen face went viral last month. If convicted, Mirza faces 93 days in jail.
In good health, as the number of seniors struggling with dementia climbs, a growing number of family members are becoming caregivers. But doctors find many are often unprepared to deal with that role. One hospital has found a unique way to help.
Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandma.
After her mom was diagnosed with dementia, Cindy Ramirez watched her father struggle to manage the demands of being a caregiver. She knew she had to help.
We live 7 minutes away, so I'm here whenever they need me. I've given her a shower, I've helped her get ready.
1 in 4 caregivers is now under the age of 34, And more men are stepping into the role, with the number of male caregivers up 6% in 6 years.
We are all potential caregivers because it depends on what happens to our loved ones, and therefore we should all be prepared for that role.
That's why Dr. Zaldi Tan developed the Caregiver Boot Camp at UCLA Health, where caregivers can learn everything from how to prevent falls to the best ways to calm a person who's confused or scared.
What would be a better way to handle that?
Caregivers learn through role play with professional actors.
I can drive, I can get there.
This is unfamiliar territory that they need to be prepared for. We have trained actors specifically to react a certain way depending on the interventions that they are subjected to.
It made Cindy and her dad more confident of their ability to care for their mother and wife.
I'll tell you, she was a wonderful wife. She took care of me for 40 years and did almost everything in the home so that I was free just to work. So now it's my turn to take care of her